Hello everyone, we're back. Today we're at B&K Soundlabs here in Tempe with my good friends Mike Bowen and Ryan Call. Thank you both of you.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
For having us over. Yeah. I haven't been down here as much as I'd like to be, you know, because we all know each other from our MCC days.
Back in the day, right? Back in the day.
Back in the day. From those days of MCC, I was trying to think of like who else is still really active to this degree, to where like they have their own place, to where they're doing it, you know, full time, and which their job. And I was like, I can't think of too many, man. You know, it's definitely a tough industry and a tough career path.
Oh yeah. It's super competitive.
Yeah, you learn right away, you know, if it's what you really want to do or not.
You figure it out in the program immediately if you're cut out for it or not, or if it's really what you want to be doing.
Yeah, or at the very least, as soon as you get sent out into the real world, and it's like boom, reality. You know,
the second you start having to go make somebody's coffee, you know, you're like, is this really what I want to do for the next 2 years before I even touch something? You know?
Right. Yeah. So I'd like to start there because, I mean, I remember vaguely after school we all kind of went our own paths, but I remember like the birthings of this idea of B&K Soundlabs.
Yeah.
And there was a third person at the earlier days, right?
Yeah, Paul.
Yeah,
Benson.
Paul. That's right, Paul Benson. He's like the guy at
he like runs Club Red now.
Yeah. So he's doing fine as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
he's the GM there now, if I'm not mistaken, and I know he does a lot of like promoting and like bookings and stuff over there now too. So yeah, and the dude's doing well for himself. He's killing it.
No, that's cool. Yeah, I remember Paul. Paul was always like you could tell that he clicked with the live stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it was what
Absolutely.
he was.
Yeah. Since day one, for sure.
I think my primary classes with him was the live sound classes, and he was always the one that, you know, just knew everything. You know, I was always a pretty confident student, but in the live sound class, it was Paul's world.
Yeah.
We all had Studio One together, so that was the first time the three of us were all in one room with Ron, and we quickly realized who we needed to like stick by and talk to, and who you were going to learn from, and you know, be interested in working with, especially on projects in class like we did. So that was fun.
No, yeah.
MCC was such a great experience.
No, it was a great time.
Yeah.
I definitely missed, you know, some of those like hangs and stuff, and I still to this day would like to go back and just do Studio 3 again.
Dude, we talk about that all
I know,
the
it's
time.
something we
all
all,
the
I think
time.
a lot of alumni talk about it, you
Yeah.
know. But yeah, after school kind of went, how did you guys go from, you know, right out of school to now? I mean, you've got a warehouse basically.
Yeah.
And I know that this isn't the only thing you run out of this warehouse. You also run FET, which is Field Event Technologies.
Focus
Event Technologies.
Yeah. Focus Event Technologies.
Yeah.
And that's more of an AV side of things. And I know that probably played a pretty integral role into getting here. But how did you go from being students to being owners of a studio and another company?
Well, Ryan and I clicked in school. We had a bunch of classes together, and then we did our Studio 3 projects together. You know, he was my second, and vice versa. And really tried to like produce some projects when we were in Studio 3. So we kind of just like developed a good relationship. We also, through Paul and internships at MCC, we all collectively worked at Club Red doing live sound. Paul and Ryan primarily, and then I started doing some shows there towards the end. From there, all three of us grabbed a spot in Tempe and basically combined all of our home studios together.
Into a place that we can make noise, but then we found out we really couldn't make noise.
Industrial parks suck these days, man. Like, so next to us was an auto shop, which you expect in an industrial park, no big deal. They close in the evening, so we were fine. But then there was like a CrossFit lady next door to us. And I think the first day we decided to do anything in there, she was like immediately banging on our door, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It wasn't that you guys in here.
No, it was like we were like drum tracking or something like that, and she was just banging on doors and walls and shit.
Definitely trying to get our attention to be quiet.
Yeah. There's a few times we wanted to bust out the SPL meter and be like, let's go see, you know, really how loud it is in your space.
You think, you know, abrasive rock and roll, man, would be appropriate for like getting your blood flowing,
You would think
Not
so.
for middle-aged moms that are trying to get that baby fat off, you know?
They need that aggression, damn it.
Yeah. Plus the rent's cheap there, so.
Yeah.
She locked down a little corner. She's still there, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
I drive by every now and then. Obviously,
for her.
we're not.
Yeah.
So we were there, and I think the three of us all kind of started to figure out where our niches were and what we wanted to do. Obviously, Paul went the live route, Club
Mm-hmm.
Red, and he's running his own production company as well.
And his band too, Unholy
Yeah,
Monarch.
and the band.
He's still doing that?
Yeah, I believe
that's awesome,
they're
yeah.
I believe they're working on an album right now.
Yeah, I saw some video of like a
yeah.
show they did recently.
Yeah.
It's always good seeing him
Yeah.
on
Brutal
stage singing.
vocalist.
Oh, dude, he's. Yeah, I don't think you need to use a preamp with his vocals, man. It's
Yeah.
just the pressure, the sound pressure coming out of his mouth is just.
And he's not even, it doesn't even look like he's trying.
No,
That's the best
yeah,
part. He's
yeah.
just like standing there, like could totally just be holding a beer in
Yeah.
the other hand and just be belting it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Blunt in hand, man.
Yeah. So as that was happening, we were looking for a new space. And at the same time, we, through our outside work experience from MCC, Ryan was working for a big AV company, and then I was working for a corporate transportation company. So we had a few hands in the corporate world of things, conferences, and we just got to talking about how
This shit's easy and we can do it ourselves and make money.
yeah, as long as you got the right inventory in to accommodate the right size groups, and just always have that equipment on hand. It's just a good side gig to do that's related to the same industry. So yeah, we do a ton of corporate lighting and conferences on the side through FET, the AV thing, and we've been doing that in the studio for the last 4 years now, and we built this place out when we got here.
2014 is when we got here.
I think the end of 2013, maybe. No, it's 2014. I
Yeah,
think
that's
is
when we.
got
That's
in.
when.
sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this whole space, which is now 2 rooms, was all one big concrete room, and there was like a drop ceiling. It was like a little office space.
Right.
So we built this whole space out with my godfather and one of his buddies that did a lot of carpentry work. We designed the rooms and the layout, the snake on the other side, all the routing, and they helped us build it. Ripped down all the sheetrock and re-insulated all the walls, got the ceiling insulated, and we've been here ever since.
Yeah.
We're hidden in the back corner of a industrial park somewhere
Yeah.
that only clients get to know where we're at.
Yeah.
So
No, that's
It's
cool. I
nice.
mean, it's definitely still a goal of mine is to kind of have. I mean, I like recording out of my own house,
Yeah.
and being able to kind of like lazily do the work that I need to do, and when I need to go out to other studios, because I do have more fun recording at other studios, which is why
Sure.
I tried to keep in touch with friends and
yeah.
also.
Right.
Well, we try to make this studio very engineer friendly. Everything's basically one-to-one, and
Right.
you could figure your way out in here.
Yeah, I
quickly,
mean, because like
you
I
know?
think most people in Phoenix, and I totally understand, but most people in Phoenix kind of feel like buckled down to wherever they have available
Sure.
to them, and I definitely try to push projects out just because I get bored. I hate working in the same room all the time. I don't want to be at my house all the time.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
there's projects that I think work really well there. Then there's other projects where I'm like, I need to go to Insuna, or I need to go to SER, or wherever. I
Yeah.
try to get to go to other places.
Yeah, and then you get to know the different like drum rooms essentially for
Yeah.
the around town, and so it's like if you need a really really big roomy drum sound, you go to X
Right.
studio. But if you need a really really tight, kind of pokey drum sound,
Right.
you go to this studio.
Right.
And yeah, I mean that's a great way. I think it's a great way to do it. If we didn't have the space, I'd be probably doing it the same way you're doing it.
Totally,
working
yeah.
out of my house, doing
Yeah.
vocals, guitars, anything.
Editing and mixing
Yeah,
to an extent.
and then
but
rent out a room for drums.
Yeah.
You know.
No, absolutely. But it's definitely really cool that you guys have kind of come this far, and I mean, you're in it now.
Yeah.
But no,
Yeah.
but you guys are doing well. You seem to be doing very well, anyways. And yeah, it's very exciting. And I wanted to go to touch back on the Focus Event Technologies side of things. How did you guys? So you were working at an AV company.
Yeah, I was working I got hired with Swank Audiovisuals, but then they
That's
got
right. I
bought
was trying
out
to
by
remember, yeah.
PSAV.
Okay,
So
yeah.
the Walmart of audiovisual hospitality. So
Yeah.
yeah, we were working right when that transition happened where PSAV bought out Swank. That's when Mike and I started really kind of sitting down and trying to figure out the Focus Events side because I was over the corporate
yeah.
9 to 5 paycheck for.
But then we went right back in.
We
it
went
with
right
our
back
own
into
company.
it, but
we could wear our own clothes.
Right. Yeah.
and I don't have to sit in an office from 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Like we go and we obviously we're told what setup times we have to be there, whatnot. But a lot of times we can, finagle it where we're there at 10 a.m. when it's super cool out.
Right.
We're not having to break too much of a sweat because it is still very labor intensive. But,
Yeah.
it's nice. And then in between, because those parties usually happen, till 10 o'clock at night. And that's typically around the time, like before that, from like 6 to 10 is usually when a lot of local bands, if they want to come in during the week, that's about the time frame that they want to record at. So it all just kind of works hand in hand really, really well together to be able to work the two together as well.
We can be efficient with our time.
Yeah.
There's an ebb and flow to both companies too. Like the studio tends to pick up a little bit more in the summertime, whereas the AV company definitely dies down because groups aren't coming out here for meetings.
Because
but
of the heat,
dudes that are in bands and folks that are in bands, are also in school or have seasonal gigs as well. So that's when they tend to have more time available. So it stays pretty balanced. We've done a good job. We're pretty strict. Our I don't know, not motto, but we like to balance our stress-free time with our work time.
Yeah, exactly.
As much as possible.
Yeah.
Totally. I was going to ask like how that kind of prioritized itself out. If you guys, if it was solely like, focus event would have to take priority just because it is the main job.
Yeah.
Or if you guys are like, nah, like we still like to keep it. We'll have weeks where like if that takes too much time, we kind of come back here and we just say like let's make some records or something. Or
yeah, not so much right now. We don't quite have that luxury because we are still trying to like grind it out and survive.
Totally.
So we'll always take more business on the AV side, but I would say we've been very fortunate that it like has been pretty balanced.
There hasn't been really any. I can only think of a week maybe that there was like some scheduling conflicts, but luckily the artists we had in here, they brought in an outside producer that was able to walk right in here and know our system right off the bat. And,
awesome.
Yeah.
We were able to be like,
had to,
you
like,
guys
kick
are
it
good
off
for the day. All right, cool. We're gonna go take care of work for you. So
Yeah.
No, totally. I mean, because I did about 3 years as an AV tech and more in the install side of things, which not too different, but yeah, nobody warned me for like how labor intensive that job would be. I always tell interns of mine that are kind of thinking about going into that world, I'm like, hey man, first day on the job for me, I showed up and mind you, I'm a confident graduate of the audio production program. I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to hook up sound systems and dial in rooms and stuff. And my first day was build 20-foot scaffolding, cut a hole, hang a projector, figure out what we need, and all this like labor stuff, like lugging wood and running 300 feet of cable through already.
Our typical show is like a 1,200 pound worth of equipment show that we have to haul in and the two of us carry out and set up and then come back and break down late at night, and then do it again the next day.
I love how racks are supposed to make things easier, but when you have to, get them out of trucks and stuff, oh my God.
When you're lifting an 85-pound thing onto a taller rack.
Yeah,
that doesn't work.
It's insane. It's really tough work. That's why.
Quit my gym membership though.
It definitely, but yeah, pulling those 10-hour days, because it was never an 8-hour day doing that job.
Oh no.
It was always, and I
it was 8-hour minimum.
Right. My day started at 7 in the morning, and I would work, clear until 5, and then sometimes later. And I definitely had to, I was constantly, I had always had like asthma, so that like brought that back, and that's why I had to quit, was because it was just making me sick, doing the attic crawls.
You just gotta be a lighting designer, dude.
Yeah, well, it was funny, my former boss, he really tried to keep me on as what he called a suitcase tech.
Okay.
Like the guy that just kind of goes in and does the programming and stuff.
Yeah.
But I was like, you literally hired me to be muscle, and like I can't.
Yeah.
Like it turns out I'm just not able to do it. So I had to walk away from that. But the hours is what I was trying to get at. Like that definitely broke me down, because it was like, doing that every day. You get up at 6, you go to work at 7. Every now and again, you'd have like the 3 a.m. wake up call or whatever. And then right after that, I was going to, it was during a really rough week where I had to do that. And then right after work, I would go home for like 30 minutes and then do sound at high schools.
Oh, okay.
And I'd be there until 10. Get to bed by midnight, get up at 6 again, do it all again. And I was like, I have to stop. And I was sick. So I was like, I have to stop.
During the early days when we were doing a lot more live sound and stuff at the club, and we were doing like a mariachi night that would go till 3 o'clock in the morning.
El Toro Dorado.
Yeah, El Toro Dorado and Monarch Theater in Phoenix. And those would be super long days, like 6 p.m. to 3:30 in the morning.
Right.
And then you got to get up at 7 to go set up some lighting.
Yeah.
But I would say the other thing that balances it out is not to sound like egotistical or whatever, but we've paid our dues as far as like being studio dudes. So we don't just take in anyone that comes through the door. You know, we value our time. Plus, we have to value our time because we are busy in the other side of things. So, you know, we did that in the beginning, where you just take whatever's coming your way.
I think we've all. That's a good point to bring up that I actually didn't think about bringing up. Was that's definitely how I operate too. I don't do the AV thing anymore. I'll help. He still calls me every now and again. And I'll help out with training or emergency calls on like Easter when everybody breaks down and.
Sure.
You know, he'll be like, "Can you go handle these two?" And I'll, yeah, I can, or whatever. But I still, I run sound. I do a lot of live sound. I got roped into a church, so I'm doing the church thing on Sundays. And then always little odds and ends come up. I consult a lot, actually.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, with like people that, artists. There's a lot of retired artists here that are still. I guess they're not retired. They're still active.
Yeah.
But I'll go, and they all have home studios of some sort, and I'll, consult with them at their places and do that kind of work. And that all kind of keeps me alive. And then with the studio stuff, it kind of enabled me to work with the people that I want to work with.
Yeah.
And just that, because I remember the days of anybody, that would give me their time, do those gigs.
Yeah, you're gonna get. I feel like you're gonna get a better quality client that way too. If you got somebody that is good and you're interested in working with them, for one, you're going to be, a better producer for them, and you're going to take the time to really make their songs and their product as best as possible, and we've all dealt with it as studio owners, getting payment from people. If you're willing to work with somebody, they're probably a pretty good artist, they're really excited about working with you, and they're probably not have a problem paying you, at the end of the day when it's all done.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
No, absolutely. There was definitely all of those things, and then at the same time, I remember a big one was that if both parties are invested in the project, it's immensely huge. And I won't take on a gig anymore today with people that I don't know. I'm always like, when I do get a kind of a new face or a new client that I've never worked with before, the first question I'm always asked is, what are your rates, of course.
Right.
And I dodge that completely, and I say, when can you meet me?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, come out, hang out with me at the place, at my house. Let's just get a vibe for each other and start there.
Right.
And if that goes well, then we start talking about the project. I mean, I don't hold off talking about money, but I try to make it to the point where when we finally do get to talking about money, they're so
not taboo.
Yeah, they're so invested in they know the level of attention that I'm bringing. They know the level that I'm expecting from them to bring. They know that I'm going to push them, and they know that I want them to be able to tell me if I'm doing something wrong.
Right.
So it turns into like a very respectful thing on both sides.
Yeah, you've established your value as a person at that point already.
And it's definitely. I mean, I just told another friend of mine just a couple days ago. I was like, the moment I stopped trying to make money in this studio world was the day I started making money in the studio world, because I started trying to help people as opposed to make it about whatever I'm getting paid.
Much like what you're doing now. This is a great idea with the whole studio access thing that you're doing around town.
Yeah, I just thought it'd
great.
be fun, and it's an excuse for me to come out and hang out. I mean, because I love being in studios, man. I just love being in rooms, and I love seeing everyone's different working flow and techniques and what they use. So it's just fun. It's really fun for me.
Yeah. Well, it's been fun for me to watch the last, I think, you have 3 episodes up right now?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Trying to do them as fast, but it's a lot. It's always a lot more work than you realize when you start doing
totally.
something.
Yeah.
I have a team of people that help me, but still, even then, it's like, man, this was a little bit more difficult than I thought.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's awesome, dude.
No, yeah, but back to this kind of studio here, I kind of want to briefly just talk about some details about how you built it specifically. Like, what challenges did you find? Because I mean, I'm sure this was the first studio you built.
Yeah, from the ground up. Yeah,
and that's always how it goes. You just kind of
power was our big thing.
Power was the biggest one.
Yeah,
it's an older building. There's other businesses around us.
There's been a lot of different electricians that have come in and out of here. So there's a lot of positive sends that kind of feed off from one outlet to another on the same circuit, and the returns all kind of share whatever path is on that way, So when we first got this place built in, we kind of learned it the hard way on, electricity 101, essentially, with audio equipment. And but we ended up hiring somebody to come in here later on and actually run pure sends and returns, and then we also had him put like a, what is it, 8-foot, 12-foot copper rod
Ground
in the back.
in the back.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
So you
Yeah.
got your own ground.
Everything's
Yeah,
grounded.
the electrical panel that all of our breakers are in is kind of shared. So we went through after we kind of started figuring out what we needed to, and just kind of cleaned up that process and moved our power all to like one box, one panel, and got it all labeled properly. And yeah, then got some new lines ran.
That was a
Just
big
to
game
eliminate,
changer.
you know, like older power ground hums and things like that that you're not expecting.
Right.
So-
Or like, I noticed like with like refrigerators and stuff, if they'd kick on, you could
Yeah.
actually hear it because I think they shared the
Appliances.
same like return line from like.
yeah,
over
there's
on
an
the
ice
other-
machine out in the
Yeah.
building, so that was like one thing.
Yeah.
That
So
would-
yeah, you'd be like, it'd be fine when you get first year, but then like 30 minutes later, it'd be like, what is this weird sound that's coming through? And it's, you know, it's something just feeding its way
Yeah.
into our stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I would say that was like the biggest thing. The room was easy because once we ripped it
Yeah.
all down, it was just
A skeleton at that point.
yeah,
blank
it was a
canvas.
big rectangle. Obviously, none of these walls really are parallel at all, except for that tiny little section there, and the other room only shares like a small little section. So we kept that in mind. We obviously wanted a little like foyer entryway, little homage to ST28, just having the separate entries for
Nice.
each room. So cut down on bleed. The only other thing structure-wise that we had to work on was there are 3 support beams
yes.
throughout this whole room. So there's one like right behind the doorway there. There's one in between this double wall here, like right behind that panel. And then the tree is
yeah.
actually a beam.
It was a good cover.
Yeah.
It's great, dude. I
It's
like
full
how
of
it's
insulation,
tree.
too.
It's a tree,
It's
dude.
full of
holding up
insulation
the-
too, so
Yeah.
it serves a purpose.
We
you know?
insulated it and everything.
And it
So,
looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not done. It's a work in progress, but
Arts and crafts
it'll
time.
be really cool. My
Nice.
really good friend Jacqueline made it for us.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Let's. I'd like to segue kind of into looking around now.
Yeah,
and
let's do that.
Seeing what the studio's like.
Cool.
Awesome, Mosey.
All right. So, you guys have a really interesting designed control room, and you were just mentioning that you don't have a whole lot of gear, but that's okay. I like to do this because it's more about workflow. It's more about how you guys utilize, you know, why you chose the things you have and why you use them. I'd kind of like to start. We always end with monitors, but I like to start with monitors because actually you guys had me come over because I was interested in hearing these.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I think they're great.
I think they're awesome too.
They're fucking awesome.
But you guys use the Focal. Which model are these?
What are the 60 Alpha 65s? I believe. Yeah.
And why'd you guys go with those?
It was a toss-up between those and the Atom A7Xs. But just based off of what forums and everything and the reviews that I read on them and kind of showed Mike, I think we just decided just to pull the trigger on the Focals, especially because I really like the twin BEs.
Oh, the bigger ones?
Yeah, I really like those, and you know they're all the rave by a lot of different people. So I figured anything by Focal probably should be pretty good. So that's where we went with it. I mean, we used to rock the KRK Rocket 5s, which are like, you know,
A lot of time
super,
on KRKs, yeah.
super bare bones basic. So these were a good upgrade. You know, I think they were like $1,000 for the pair. So I feel like that was like a good beginning professional monitoring system because
Totally.
we were really trying to get the monitoring system in here to really just translate better to.
Yeah, we took care of obviously treating the room, both rooms. So I think that's one of our main focuses is if you're not listening to it in the right environment, then what you're doing probably might not be acting right.
Yeah,
So,
Do you guys use a sub at all?
We do.
do.
We have the KRK sub actually, and it's great. I mean, it extends down to I think like 40 hertz or maybe 35 hertz, somewhere right around there. Kind of just
it's feathered in.
feathered in.
For
you
sure.
know, it's not necessarily. You don't realize it's there until you turn it off. Essentially.
Right.
You know.
Something that I've noticed that's changed is you've moved the mixer over to the side.
Yeah.
And you've got an Alexis QX49 here, or at least this QS49 here instead. Do you guys do a lot of production, or is this used quite a bit for that
been.
approach?
It's been used for a couple of projects. It's just kind of there as a utility if we need it. We don't use it as like a transport or
Yeah.
anything crazy like that. It just fills up the space.
Yeah. Essentially, it's just there for writing out MIDI as opposed to having to click it in. You know,
Fair
like.
enough.
Yeah.
that's pretty much it's all there for.
Was that physical move more ergonomically speaking, or like reflection
Yeah,
speaking?
definitely.
Something
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah, and we don't mix through the board. We only really use the board for its preamps and EQs, and that's really it. Everything else is done inside the box, so it didn't really make sense anymore to have the console right in the middle. Just pop up your preamp and do a little bit of EQ moves, and it's in the box. You're ready to go.
So you guys are primarily using the pre's on the Allen?
When we're doing anything more than 2 channels, I guess, we have golden age pre's that are on our 500 unit that we use a lot. They sound great.
These are the 1073 clones?
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly. Golden Age Pre-73 is what I think they're called. Yeah, they're rad. Super tasty. But anything larger than that, like we'll send drums through the board, depending on how many channels we're doing that day. We like it because it's transparent. So anything we do in the box, we're not first having to like change what it sounds like beforehand.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, these boards are actually quite good sounding for, for what they are.
This is what we had at Club Red.
Yeah.
Not this one specifically, but same model. Loved it.
Yeah, to go back to the AV jobs and stuff that I was doing, like a big thing during my tenure as an AV tech was replacing all of these with the new Behringer X32s or the Soundcraft compacts, and those are all great, and like I definitely see the point and purpose of those, but I immediately noticed the clarity difference in the preamps.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Versus using an analog path to, and of course I don't have compressors on everything. I don't have all of that processing on everything.
Sure.
So that like can outweigh it obviously very quickly, but there was an audible difference for me in presence and clarity between
Probably the converters inside of them going into the
something, and it wasn't it was noticeable, but it's definitely not something that I would freak out about. But but point being, like I definitely missed initially like the sound of just the old Allen boards and kind of going through and like that. It's like I don't need to EQ it as much. Like it's kind of there, and we're hearing the.
And you don't, if the moves, at least on the X32s, from what I think, like if you want like a 3 dB boost, you got to do a 6 dB. If you're in that mindset. Whereas with these, it's like. I probably only need like 2 dB. It's really, really tight.
It's more exact.
No, analog EQs are always way more extreme or noticeable. Like anytime, like with the digital, like same thing, digital EQ plug-in or whatever. You find yourself doing these really wacky moves sometimes to get essentially what like the most crazy EQ I think I have are my Daking channels, and seriously like. I don't think I ever go beyond the first marking, whatever that means. It goes all the way to, but I mean, I don't, there
you can't even fathom making a move that big,
Like right there is insane. It's like, we're EQing,
Grand Canyon.
That's how I feel like this air switch is on this on this
those
preamp.
have like little air bands on them?
Yeah, they got the air switch. It's you can either go reverse the polarity or the air switch, and for vocals, you throw that air switch on, they're almost done. Like it's just there.
Those have a lot of options. I didn't realize they had.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're rad.
They got like the different for dynamics and ribbons. They got the different ohm thing you can do.
Oh, you change impedance.
Yeah, which we haven't really experimented too much with. And then they have the passive and active DI boxes inside them too.
You guys are using the PreSonus monitor station control?
We are, yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. I enjoy it because it gets, it has all the features of mono. The talkback is great on it. And then it just has multiple outputs.
The dim's really, really nice.
Dim is legit too.
Central Station. I couldn't think of the
Station.
name.
Yeah.
It's very popular, man. I mean, obviously, this idea to do these tours and stuff, I took from other people that were already doing it on YouTube. The big one being Warren Hewart out in LA doing Produce Like a Pro videos. And it's amazing how many, big producers use the Central Station.
It's another one of those, kind of like the Focals, like the next price point up from that is when you're getting into the thousands and shit, so it does its job, doesn't do anything crazy.
Get in the way.
Yeah, exactly. It's been useful, for sure.
And then to get into the box, you guys are using, what is this? This is a modified one, right?
So our Motu HD192 is modded out by Black Lion. We sent it out to them like when we first bought it. And then the 24 IO is not modded by them, but will be hopefully sometime in the near future.
Until we get unless we get another 192
Yeah.
and get that modded.
How many channels is the 192? In
12.
12?
12 in and
That's
out.
an odd number.
Yeah.
Mostly
Yeah.
always has those odd numbers, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, a lot of the times, other than really drums, and even with drums, depending on the size
The
of the kit
key
and what we're
channels you
doing.
need are like 12 channels, and then you
Yeah.
can kind of use I hate to say it for that other, but those are like the throwaway channels, you know? Like they're.
No, it still sounds awesome. It just
Yeah.
doesn't have that little Black Lion
Yeah.
push on it,
Right.
and it's not the.
Motube does make solid stuff. I've never used their HD series stuff, but you know, listening to your work, once again, I would never be able to, because I mean, I of course, like most people, probably went down that conversion path of,
Yeah.
of you know, all of the opinionated insanity
Sure.
that goes
Yeah.
with it. And I mean, I've used, I mean, when I got into the pro level stuff, I started with 192s, which I thought was like a huge.
The Avid ones, right?
Yeah, the original blue and
yeah.
silver, the
Yeah,
ones
yeah.
everyone shits on.
Yeah, yeah.
The 192s.
They do kind
and-
of sound poopy.
But compared to what I had before that, which
Oh
was
yeah,
just,
which you had the Profire, right?
Yeah, which is like, you know, a slightly worse version of the current Scarlets or whatever
Yeah,
people are
exactly.
using, you know.
Yeah.
But you go from that prosumer level stuff to that pro level stuff, and you're like, oh my god, I
Yeah.
can hear, I can hear things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that was my thought with the 192s, you know. And then I went from 192s to Radar, and it was once again like that big jump again. But you know, now I'm using Apogees now, older
Oh, nice.
Apogees.
Very
And
cool.
The symphonies or the
not the symphonies. I'm using the 80, the X series stuff.
Okay.
So the 8016X and the DA16X.
Gotcha.
They also sound great. I mean, I do rock and roll. I'm not doing super fine-tuned orchestral stuff.
Right,
so
right, right.
But yeah, I mean, once you get into that pro level stuff, it's like it's all quite similar. You know,
Yeah.
there's like little slight differences.
Yeah.
but-
Yeah. Well, this, you know, the HD 192 is their Avid 192.
Right.
But we, using those in school and stuff, they were just kind of like life suckers, you know?
Yeah.
Like they sounded good, but they
Right.
just took something away. This does not.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is awesome.
Well, I was going to say, because I
Beautiful.
listened to the work, I listened to the Inept Hero stuff, I listened to the band the video that they were chasing you in.
Oh, Moment of
Moment
Ruin.
of Ruin.
Yeah.
And then there was another. I'm blanking on the bands, but I listened to like a lot of your recent work, and I was like, it sounds professional. Like
Cool.
it sounds good.
Thank you.
It sounds clear. There's the clarity there, the size. That they're all big sounding records.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's very impressive work. And I checked out. You guys still work with Mouse Powell?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Checked out that stuff as well. I was
Yeah.
like, this sounds legit.
Love Mouse.
Yeah.
He always has just some great projects that he's bringing in here, doing full band stuff. That's what his whole last album is that's coming out here soon.
I'm excited for that one because I think
Yeah.
I've been seeing pictures of you guys working on that and the setups you guys are using. I was
It's
like,
been
Yeah.
like a year.
So
or
that was
so
that
in
was
making.
the occasion we were talking about where we kind of helped just get them set up and jump off, and then he had his buddy Ref, who's a producer from Portland out here, who he like grew up with, and they're
Cool.
good buddies. So, yeah, he had his hands on a lot of the project, but we were obviously here in the background,
Assistant
kinda
engineer
helping
role,
out.
you know?
Yeah, exactly, which is fun.
Yeah.
It's nice being able to just like sit back and not.
Sounds good. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, man.
As far as like workflow goes, we have the same ideas and concepts, and that's why everything is set up how it is. You know.
so it's pretty easy for you two to kind of bounce between the same project from one another.
Yeah, I mean, it
Yeah,
all just
definitely.
at the end of the day, it really just depended on what the band wants, you know, like, and point of contact too, you know, like if Mike was the point of contact on something, like I'm gonna take that back seat and be like the assistant, do the editing and do any type of stuff that he needs me to do to take care of his section of it, so he doesn't get so tunnel visioned on every other task that's out there,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
And same thing goes the other way around.
Yeah, or just like genre based and stuff. You know, like Ryan does a lot of like the rock and metal and punk and stuff like that, where I've always been more of the like folky and hip hop and the like more electronic side of things. Not really like dance music or anything like
Right.
that, but just more like indie side
I hear you.
of the curtain.
I think
So-
that maybe that's like the key, because I feel like if you were both rock guys, you'd probably be stepping on each other's toes all the time.
Yeah, definitely.
It's supposed to sound like this.
Well, and
Yeah.
just bottom line, personality-wise, we balance each other out
Right,
too.
yeah.
So that's helpful as well.
No, yeah, like I said, like you guys definitely, it was obvious that you two would at least remain in contact back in the school days,
Yeah.
So I'm really excited that you guys did this, and
Yeah, it's been a journey. It still is.
yeah,
you know.
it will continue.
But
to be.
our
Right.
whole focus is like vibe and being efficient and getting things done.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, we
Just have a good time, man. It's rock and roll.
yeah. We've studied and we've practiced and we've learned and appreciated like all like 2 mics on a drum kit, 22 mics on a drum kit, live recording, all tracked out. You know, we'll do whatever.
Right.
We've had opera singers in here singing over karaoke tracks. We've had whatever you can think of, basically. So,
Right.
That's awesome.
yeah, we have a couple bands that tour that really just one that we're not a rehearsal space, but because they're friends,
Right.
we let them rehearse here, and that's really fun too because we set them up like it's a recording session, but they all have their own headphone mixes and everything's
And they can
running
like
through the
hear back
box.
their progress.
Yeah,
and
they don't have
stuff.
to set up a PA or anything
Yeah.
in the room.
That's awesome.
Yeah, if they're working on something, it's nice for them to be able to just be like, hey, can you just press that big red button real quick? And
Yeah, like
you
they were
know.
working on like a transition piece, things like that. So,
No, that's awesome.
Which
yeah.
brings us to that other piece of gear that's above the PreSonus,
oh yeah,
the Behringer Power Play.
Oh, the headphone system.
Yeah, we've got a couple of those monitoring boxes on the other side, so everybody can have their own little individual mixes. Essentially.
Those have to. Yeah, that would definitely be the best way. I mean, I'm still on the old Furman.
Yeah.
4-knob.
Well, that's what we
thing.
wanted to get, but now I don't know if it's more cost effective to do it this way because those things keep getting more and more expensive.
well, nobody wanted to sell them or anything
Yeah.
either. So, but yeah, this are fun. They
But the
have a lot
power.
of
I mean,
bells
the
and
power
whistles.
play. The price point of the power play, if I'm not mistaken, is still half of what the Avium. System,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And that was like the first one that. Well, I don't know about the first one, but the other one. You know.
Yeah, we just looked today, and we actually think the price went up on the Behringer stuff.
Yeah.
It's.
The boxes used to be like $250, I think, and now they're running about $300. So.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
box, huh?
Yeah.
And I think I think the Behringer boxes can do more feature-wise than the Aviums can.
I'm not sure. I haven't researched.
Yeah,
on the
we
other
didn't dig
ones.
too deep into the Aviums, but
Well,
I think
I'm
you're
familiar.
right.
I'll go look at one. I'm familiar
Yeah.
with the Aviums because they're at another studio that I do work out a lot, and so I'm pretty familiar with those. But I think the first time I used the Behringer, I was like, wait, this can do like one more thing or something, you know?
Yeah, it's got
got a MIDI.
panning. It's got panning, 3-band EQ. The high and low are fixed, but the middle is sweepable. And
That's the
then-
one.
Oh, the sweepable mid.
I think the Avian Max only has high and low.
Oh, okay.
At least the older ones that I'm using.
Gotcha.
Only has high
So
and
it's
low
like a
EQ.
high shelf and a low shelf.
Yeah, and then master.
No. Yeah, and this one did that have a limiter built into it? Because this one has a limiter on the output.
You couldn't adjust it.
Oh,
If
okay.
it does, you
You can adjust this one
Yeah.
on the output.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, gear-wise, I think that's basically it. The computer, we run a PC system here. We have like Macs as MacBooks and whatnot, but we built this. This thing's been raging for
5 years.
5 years now.
Yeah.
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 Well, yeah. I mean, I've been converted to PC because of Kenny, and we're using his PC from 2007, and it's still
As
going.
long as you keep upgrading the hardware in it.
We just bought new hard drives,
Yeah.
and it's fast, it's reliable, it does its thing.
This thing is, we've definitely bogged it down before in a session, but
Yeah.
no, we can run a lot at one time.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it was there was a switch in Pro Tools at some point that kind of like just cured something. Like one of the upgrades that they did, I think it may have been the 11 upgrade or something. Like all of a sudden the
Plug-in
computer just
processing was different.
everything was just like better operating on it. But we all know how awesome Pro Tools is at times. So
Definitely the best. Only the best to say
yeah.
about Pro Tools.
Only the best.
Hey, we got 12.
We all use it. We all use it.
Yeah, we're on 12.8. Is that what we're on? 12.8.1, I think is what it is.
You're ahead of
now?
me. I'm on 10. I like 10. I'm like, I don't want to move.
Oh, dude, 12's cool. 12's pretty cool. They got like
Yeah.
the freeze and commit functions on the tracks. So like you can go onto an individual track and press freeze, and it'll essentially like render all of your plugins onto the
Oh,
waveform, and then
okay.
save up your CPU power if you're like still
Okay.
tracking other instruments and things
But
like that.
and then
But
so
you
you
can
can
still
shut 'em
adjust.
off.
You can still mute solo
Yeah.
and all that stuff. It's just all that. It's like essentially did an audio suite with all your plugins on
Right.
it.
Yeah.
that's easy. That's
Yeah.
fast.
A
That's
quick-
kind of
quick
cool.
print.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
type
Yeah, you
thing.
can do offline bounces with the commit for like groups and all that kind of stuff. So if
Still
you want
got
to
that-
stem things
Still
out.
got that goofy bounce to SoundCloud thing.
They do.
Is it still there?
I think it's,
I don't know.
Is it SoundCloud? Yeah, I think it is SoundCloud. That
I thought it was
funny.
iTunes. I thought they switched
Yeah,
to
or
iTunes
that, one
now.
of those.
But yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I
are
never
always-
utilized that. Ever.
I just think it's funny.
Yeah.
I think Logic obviously does bounce to iTunes or
Yeah.
something because it's
Yeah.
Apple, but
Yeah.
cool. Let's take a look at the live room.
Cool.
Let's do it.
So yeah, this is a pretty cool live room. It's a what is this shape? Like a trapezoid? Interesting.
I was horrible in math in school,
Right.
so I don't know what shape that is.
There's 5 sides. So hex is 6. Pentagon. Pentagon's 5.
Ish. Yeah, ish.
Moving on. No, but this is obviously where you put the drums. You've got this big old rug here.
Yeah, we kind of do everything just
Yeah, right here on the rug.
Vocals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
the
is
rug
spot.
ties the room together.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Ties the room together. That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, walking in here, I'd like to kind of just segue for a second. You've got this giant old, what is this, like 60s, 50s, 70s?
Oh, dude, it's probably from the 50s. It's my grandpa's.
Yeah.
Just a giant stereo
Yeah,
console.
my grandma was cleaning out their house because he passed away way back when we were in school. And
Let me help
she
you.
was like, hey, do you want this? And she showed me what was on the inside. And I pretty much said, fuck yeah, you know. So it's tuners right there in the middle, I believe vinyl record player on the right, and then an
Yeah.
actual like 2-track, I believe.
Yeah. It's a little like
Yeah, quarter inch.
2-track.
Yep.
Does it all work?
It all works.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Is this a direct drive player?
I doubt
Like
that.
underneath it's got all the gears and stuff? Or is it
I don't know, man.
I doubt it.
I haven't really tried anything other than the tape player and the tuner itself. But yeah, it all fires on. It's pretty sweet.
This is odd. What does this thing weigh?
Too much.
Too much is the correct
How'd you guys
answer.
get it in here? Does it
Okay.
come apart?
Well, we carry a lot of heavy shit for a living, so
I think we brought it through that room.
that door there.
No, this is just cool.
Yeah, and those
Probably
two
has, like-
sides, those two sides are the speakers.
Like
on
old
each-
Altex or something?
Yeah.
Boom.
That's awesome. I'll let you put that mixer down.
Cool.
Yeah, walking in here, I was like, man, I know what that is. That's
Yeah.
really cool. You know,
Definitely.
a lot of these haven't survived me. They kind of just remain in antique shops or junked.
Yeah, my grandpa's kind of crazy, so I remember growing up and seeing that thing, and you throw a drink on there or anything, dude, you get smacked so hard. Like,
We've had to scold some bands already.
we've definitely
for
had
it.
to scold some people.
A couple rings have been made.
Oh, yeah. My grandfather had two. He had one in the house and he had one in the RV garage. They didn't have the tape. It was just a record player.
Sure.
And then the tuner and stuff. But
I think we have that upstairs still, right?
What?
Didn't we have an older one that we got? That was just a record player at the old studio. I think we literally
I think we
sitting
have that upstairs.
That was-
Dude, I've got so much stuff in the family. But they're just like, oh, you like sound? Here you go.
Audio and old.
Any way they can relate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
No, but I remember growing up with that one, and you always, we'd be working in the garage, he'd fire it up, and it was kind of really cool. And, yeah, they're fun. But yeah, that's probably the biggest one I've seen in person.
It is
That's
it's intense.
That's
Yeah.
a piece. That's a piece.
You drink a lot of scotch around that back in the
Right.
day.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. But you've also got some amps in here. You've got
Yeah.
an organ.
Yeah.
What's the organ? I'm kind of curious about
It's
It's a Crosley, I believe.
yeah, I'm not
Picked it up from church a while ago. It's or a con
yeah.
is what it is. We used to have a Crosley.
that. I've never heard of a con.
It's
I honestly think it's like one of those like school level
Yeah.
ones where you like teach
Yeah.
kids how to play piano and stuff.
we've had some
on it.
friends come in and play it. And
It looks cool.
It's got some interesting sounds. And
Yeah.
some
Some of it
quirks here
doesn't
and there.
work. Some of it works. You know, it's
Some
cool.
dirty levers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it ends up sounding cool.
Do the pedals work?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Pedals still work?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've got an old Goofy Wurlitzer at my place,
Nice.
and that same thing, like Goofy,
Yeah.
reading rainbow sounds on it. But
Yeah, we've used it for some like weird sound effects and stuff as well. Because it does also have the little whirly guy in it too.
Yeah, the Leslie.
The
Oh yeah, it's got a
Leslie.
little.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So-
Awesome. Well, do you guys do a whole lot of live stuff?
We do here and there. I mean, like with the bands practicing in here and whatnot, we do the live. We've had a couple bands a couple years ago that we did
Wanted
like
live feels too.
yeah, we did like a live performance so that the drums can get dialed in and everything else was kind of done DI, and then we went and dubbed everything else on top of it. So you still got that feel with the drummer if he's still interacting with everybody,
Yeah.
but then the clean, isolated signals for everything.
Yeah, everybody in the same room, but only the drums are actually mic'd up. And we've had like as many as 8 people in this room at one time doing shit.
I think we had 9.
9?
9,
Yeah.
including a camera guy. 9.
right.
Yeah, because I had a camera person in here taking, promo shots.
It's a good sign. I feel like that might start to get a little crowded, but
Yeah,
it
It
looks like
does.
it still feels like you got the room for it. I mean,
I feel like 4 or 5 is like perfect number for this room.
yeah. I mean, we're 5 bodies right now.
Yeah, but with a drum set, and, you know,
and with instruments
Yeah.
and you know and things kind of going and lines
Yeah.
being ran. No, that's really cool. And you got all kinds of lighting in here too. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I like a cave. I don't like bright lights. So it is,
Right.
and we don't do a lot of video or anything like that in here. So it has been more for just like the ambient kind of,
Totally.
you know, get your
Totally.
work done
No, absolutely.
and not be kind of like fatigued by it too much.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So-
blinded and like squinting the whole day.
Right.
Yeah,
Great. Well, thank you guys so much for having me come out today. It was great.
absolutely.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, it was great catching up. Great seeing the place. Nice seeing the changes and whatnot. And great talking, as always. Thank you for watching.